because in one case you progress 10 times more than in the other case. So I think the only right way to think, and that's going to help you, by the way, perform much better, believe me, is to focus on everything that we decided that you're going to control. I've just been told that, like all the players, you're going through some moments where you kind of look for your way to be more efficient.
I think the main issue is I tend to play better and I feel better on court during practices. Like I tend to doubt myself a bit when I play matches. Like when I go for a certain shot, I go like, maybe I shouldn't go for this shot, maybe I should go for that shot. But in practice, I'm not thinking too much. I just play the shot and it turns to be way better when I don't think.
So do you know why there is more, there is more doubts during the matches than at practice? Do you have an idea?
I think the stress of the match, focusing too much on the result. Like I have to win this match to achieve this goal, or I have to perform this way, otherwise I'm not going to be able to achieve certain goal. All about consequences, you know. Like on the match, I'm always thinking about the consequence of what will happen, rather than in practice. I'm just, well, whatever happens, happens, you know. It doesn't really matter.
So it's about expectations that you have in the match, and you don't have the expectation in practice.
Yeah.
You're here to practice.
Yeah.
If you miss, you miss.
Yeah.
There's no consequence. In a match, you feel there are consequences, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's very classic. You know, it's nothing complicated or bad or whatever. It's just, as you said, but because you already have the answer in a way, it's just because you go to the match with this expectation of results that you don't have in practice. So in practice, you feel relaxed, and in matches, you feel tension because, you know, if you don't do well, you're going to lose and you don't want to lose.
Yeah.
It's quite simple. Okay, so the real question is finding a way that the result is not the main focus. The problem with and that's the reason why it creates a lot of tension, is because the result depends on you, but not only on you,
Yeah.
right? Because you have someone else on the other side of the net. So if the result is so important and it depends on someone else, it's very stressful. You know, I have an example. Like when a lot of people are scared in plane because they don't pilot the plane. Yeah. If you would pilot the plane, I tell you, I don't know if you're scared, but the people who do pilot the plane, they're zero scared. Yeah. Same with the car. I don't know if you are, but a lot of people are scared when someone else drives super fast because you don't have the control. Now, if you drive as fast as the guy was driving, you would feel much more secure. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yeah? Okay. It's exactly the same thing in the match. You don't have the will. You have the will on some things, but not on the result. Unless you are Novak Djokovic, and even him, never know, you know. So we have to find a way so that you focus, and what makes you happy or not happy, that depends only on you. Can we do that? Yeah. But it cannot be the result. If it's the result, it's not going to work. So ultimately you want results and you want to win matches. You're not going to try to trick yourself telling you don't care, because you care and it's good. Yeah. Okay? But what are you supposed to do that depend only on you, that if you do, then you give yourself the most chances to win?
I mean, anything outside the court, I think, like making sure you eat well, you stretch, you do your warm-up, you get in the court prepared. Like anything that happens outside before the match, what you can control, basically. Because once you're inside the court, you cannot control much than just, I guess, your serve is the only shot that you actually have total control of. All the rest depends on a lot of things. Yeah,
but you are focused on the quality of what you're producing.
Yeah.
Quality doesn't depend on you. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. Yeah. So even this doesn't depend on you.
Yeah.
What does depend on you on the court? There are still things that depend on you.
Your attitude?
Sure. Does it help you or not?
Yeah.
Okay. That's one thing, okay.
How you speak to yourself, like how you think you're doing and how you make yourself feel. Like if you make yourself feel good, it's likely that the result is going to be better than if you make yourself like, oh, I'm playing terrible and nothing's going my way. So maybe just keep a positive mindset.
So do you have that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's two things already. Good. Is there something else that you can control during a match?
Having a clear plan, I guess.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Like totally.
Making sure that if you don't feel good, you have those patterns which you tend to do well, and you focus on those.
So if you go to the match and you have a clear, I mean, there are two others you can, but one is maybe when you say attitude, you think of that also, is the fight you put on every point.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the attitude is including that, it's fine.
Yes, just believe in yourself.
And it's not easy to believe. I mean, you don't always decide to believe.
Yeah.
You can decide to fight on every point, but to believe, when doubts come, you know, you can try to fight against, but you're not totally in control. There is a last thing. The last thing I tell you, because I don't want to, it's not a game. Huh? Actually, you gave almost all the answers. Now we have to go to each of those answers and say what's the plan in each of them. But the last one is the intention. I give you an example. If you decide I'm gonna be close to the line and on every shot I'm gonna try to hit a winner, I exaggerate on purpose. This is the intention. And the intention, it depends on you. If you decide I'm gonna play 3 meters high and I'm gonna go far behind the baseline and only defend, it's the intention. No, you know what I mean? I take two extremes on purpose.
Yeah.
Huh? But the intention is very important. Like Andy Murray, he made 5 finals of Grand Slams. He didn't win one. Remember at the start of his career? I don't know if you remember, you're too young, but at the start of his career, he's already old. At the start of his career, and he couldn't win a final. And one of the reasons was because he was lacking intention. He was too passive.
Yeah.
And when he started to work with Landl, they worked a lot on being having much more intention from the return. Immediately take control of the rally, be dictating as much as possible. It's the intention, and he worked on that, and that helped him. And after that, he won 3 Grand Slams.
Yeah.
So the intention is what you decide to do with the ball every time you have the occasion, or to create opportunities. What you decide to do.
Yeah, committing to it.
Yeah.
Like whatever you choose to do it 100%.
Exactly.
Don't go halfway. Or that's another thing that I've been doing better like recently. Also because I started to play more matches now because there are more tournaments.
Yeah. So one thing that's very important to have in mind is that first of all, it's always difficult to be more aggressive if it's not something that you really feel, because you always have the doubt: is it going to work or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you focus on the result.
Yeah.
Take away the result, no problem. You can do it, right? Okay. So the whole point about all this is to say, okay, I can focus, I can decide about my attitude. I can decide about my intentions on every shot. I can decide about the preparation before the match. I can decide, and all these things depend only on me. What else did you say? I can decide about my attitude on the court. Okay. If you do all these things well, great attitude, fight from first to the last point, be having the intention of play that you decided to have before the match, etc., etc., etc. If you do all these things and you after the match, will you be proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you lose?
I mean, I'll be upset that I lost, but I know that I did what I can control.
You did what you can control. That's very important. Huh? And when you do that, you progress. It's better to lose. I mean, it's never good to lose, huh? But it's better to lose doing all the things that you control well, rather than to win doing almost none of the things you decide, which happens also sometimes.
Yeah.
Because in one case you progress 10 times more than in the other case. So I think the only right way to think, and that's going to help you, by the way, perform much better, believe me, is to focus on everything that we decided that you're going to control all the time, and make a deal with yourself, because that's the key. Huh? Make a deal with yourself, and you say, okay, I'm proud of myself if I do all the things I've said I will do. If I deliver what I said, I'm super proud of myself, because I'm a better player after every match, and I'm gonna improve very fast. We have to detail in every of those aspects. You know, you say have a good attitude. What is a good attitude?
Yeah.
Having intention of play. What do you want to achieve? Having a strategy. What is your strategy? What are your patterns of play that you decide that you're gonna use every time you can? Make it clear, write it down, make it really, really super clear with you. I think it's very important that you read it before you enter the course, so it's really fresh in your mind. And you deliver, and then we talk after the match and you tell me how it was. You of course will know if you won or not, but more than that, are you proud of yourself, yes or no? maybe you struggled for some of the things. We're going to understand why, and we're going to solve it, and it's going to be much better. And the best athletes in the world, the best players in the world, they're not focusing on the result. Never. When you focus on the result, it creates stress, tension, because shit, what's going to happen if I don't have the result? And what if the guy plays great? And what if I don't feel my shots? It creates a lot of stress. You want to take that stress away. And the only way to take that stress away is, again, know exactly what you want to achieve and things that depend only on you, and then you rely only on yourself. I hear all the time, I mean, quite often players say, oh, I want to have fun on the court. I mean, who has fun on the court playing a match? Nobody. Because when you play a match, it's not fun, it's fight. I mean, the guy who pretends that he's going to have fun in the future playing matches, it's not going to work. So a match is a match. It's a competition, it's a fight. You fight with yourself and you fight with the opponent, and that's what it is. And at the end, you're happy or you're not happy. What I want to change is your happiness cannot depend on someone else, because then it's bad. In your life, you don't want what's going to happen in your life to depend on somebody else. You want it to depend on you. Same in a match. So again, we're going to focus only on that. Now, to your other idea is very interesting. To bring the spirit of the match in the practice, this is very interesting. And all the things that you're going to write down about what you want to achieve, you should play practice match, or during practice play points, and focusing on doing it at practice before doing it in the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're used to doing it, and everything you do in practice is going to be much easier to doing in the match if you repeat it in conditions that you feel like are close to the match. So I think it's a very good idea. It's going to be difficult to replicate the stress of the match in the practice. You're right, 100%. What you can do is recreate the same environment, like playing points, and focusing on the things that you decided to focus on during the match, do it also at practice. So when you go to the match, you are used to doing that. It's easier. That the match is stressful, it's normal. But it's more stressful, again, I tell you the same thing again, 10 times more stressful if the only thing that counts is the result, and if it doesn't depend on you. Only your plan and what you promised yourself to do, you do. You leave the court, you have done it. Thank you very much, I'm proud of myself, I can come back home. You're gonna make some mistakes. You're gonna make some wrong choices. It's fine. It's fine. It's life. I mean, even the best players in the world, they make mistakes and they make wrong choices, but they still can achieve what they decided to do on the tennis court. And by making mistakes, you learn, oh, okay, that was wrong, okay. And it's just a learning process, you know. Oh, next time I will know that this was not the right choice, or you're learning like that. You can't be hard on yourself and your choices. You can be hard on yourself if you promised, I'm going to do that. That depends only on you, and you don't do it. Then okay. Yeah. Then you can be really mad at yourself. And you should be. Because you made a promise to yourself and you have to do it. Because long term, that's the only way. And you want long term to be the best player you can. So you have a goal that is there, and you focus on your fit. Winning the next match is your fit. Focus on the big picture. What you want to become. And what you achieve every day will help you be what you become, right? And it's not about winning or losing this match. It's about doing what you plan to do that is going to make you a better player. For the next match, do one first, after we'll talk, but everything written, very clear, what you decided to do that depends on you during this match. Do it at practice first, then a match. And we leave the court and we see if you tick all the boxes. I mean, not 100 boxes, huh? No, don't make it complicated, but simple things that depend on you. And you see were you able to do it or not. If you're able to do it, go to the restaurant, be happy with your coach and be proud of yourself. If you didn't, you can't be happy with yourself. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video and want more tennis tips, first, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and then follow me on Instagram at Patrick Muratoglu. See you very soon on a tennis court.